Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chase Chrisley admits he was humbled by parents' incarceration. Chase Chrisley has admitted that he was humbled by his parents' incarceration. This was a hard time for him and his entire family. Savannah Chrisley took custody of their younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe. However, Chase also had a lot on his plate and was going through a lot at this time. He has admitted a lot of feelings that he had during the time that they were in prison. There is a lot to unfold and uncover. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Chase Chrisley arrested, then gets sober. Chase Chrisley was arrested a few months ago for assault and battery. He was accused of punching a manager at a bar after being told to leave. The cops picked Chase up after he had already left. However, this was a turning point in his life. He decided that he needed to cut alcohol out. Chase knew that he didn't react well when he was drinking. So he decided to quit. Since then, he has worked on releasing a non-alcoholic seltzer called Gold Drop. This was a big step for him, but he is proud of himself, and his family and friends are proud of him as well. He admits he was humbled by his parents' incarceration. Chase Chrisley has admitted that he was humbled when his parents went to federal prison for tax evasion and fraud. It seems as though Chase was going through a lot when his parents were in prison. He realized that he had to pull himself together and work on himself. Not only that, but he had to do everything himself and not rely on his mom or dad anymore. It was hard for him. However, he was able to do it, and looking back, he is glad he could. The Chrisley family had always worn confidence like designer cologne, bold, potent, and impossible to ignore. But for Chase Chrisley, the golden boy of Chrisley knows best. Life had a way of spritzing on something a little more sobering in the past year. Sitting on a white leather couch in a Nashville studio, Chase leaned forward, fingers laced tightly, his signature smirk traded for something quieter, something earned. "Man, I thought I knew it all," he admitted, voice lower than usual. "But when Mom and Dad were sentenced, everything I thought I understood about life just changed." Todd and Julie Chrisley, America's favorite Southern royalty with a taste for luxury and sarcasm, had gone from reality TV staples to federal inmates in the blink of a gavel. The headlines screamed fraud. The fans gasped. And for Chase, it was like waking up in the middle of a storm you didn't see coming. He never expected the silence. Not the kind you hear when cameras stop rolling, but the silence in your soul when your foundation crumbles. "I used to think money solved problems," he confessed. Turns out when it's taken away, along with the people you love, you figure out real quick what matters. In the months that followed their sentencing, Chase stepped into a new role: caretaker, brother, emotional anchor. He fielded calls from Savannah at 3 a.m., consoled Grayson after his first football game without Mom in the stands, and brought Nanny Faye her favorite peach cobbler when the weight of her missing son felt too heavy to bear. "I had to grow up fast," Chase said. "It's like life hit me with a 2x4 and said, 'Wake up.'" He no longer spent his afternoons browsing Bentley showrooms or posting flex pics in designer shoes. Instead, he found himself volunteering at a local food bank, surprising even himself. It wasn't some PR thing, he clarified. "I just needed to feel useful, to feel like I wasn't completely powerless." What stunned fans even more was Chase's openness about therapy. "I always thought therapy was for people who couldn't handle their lives," he said, chuckling at his past ignorance. "Turns out it's for people who want to handle their lives better." He talked about the guilt, how he replayed moments where he joked about his parents' lavish lifestyle, their empire, as if it were invincible. "I'd sit alone sometimes, just wondering if I could have seen it coming." if I could have helped. But therapy taught him something vital. Responsibility doesn't mean blame. I can't change what happened, he said, but I can change what I do next. And that's exactly what he's been doing. Chase has been quietly working on a new podcast, Truth Be Told, where he plans to interview people who've overcome public shame, financial ruin, and family fallout. Not everyone gets their dirty laundry aired on national TV, he said. But pain is pain, spoke about his evolving relationship with faith. While the Chrisleys were always vocal about their Christian beliefs, Chase admitted his understanding of God was once surface level. Before all this, I thank God for cars, opportunities, red carpets, he said. Now I thank him for peace. For a calm morning, for a phone call with my mom. Julie's voice had changed, he noted. Softer, slower, more measured. She asks me questions now like, "What are you learning from this?" That used to be Dad's line. And Todd, still fiery as ever behind bars, but introspective in a way Chase never thought possible. He told me he's proud of the man I'm becoming. That meant more than anything. The public's perception has been a roller coaster. Some fans showed unwavering support. Others turned their backs, writing the Chrisleys off as just another scandalous celebrity family. But Chase, for the first time, didn't let it define him. Being humbled doesn't mean you're broken, he said. It means you've been cracked open enough to let the light in. He even touched on the strain the ordeal put on his romantic life. Hard to date when you've got the FBI breathing down your family's neck. He joked, but there was pain behind the smile. I had to learn how to be alone without feeling lonely. Despite the hardships, he feels a quiet gratitude now. Not for the suffering, but for the growth. I miss my parents every single day, he admitted. But I finally figured out who I am without them standing beside me. Chase still makes jokes, still loves his sneakers, still calls Nanny Faye every morning. But there's a depth to him now that wasn't there before. A man who understands what it means to lose, to ache, and still rise. I'll never be the same, he said. But maybe that's the point. And with that, Chase Chrisley stood up, gave a polite smile to the crew, and walked out into the Nashville sun, not as a reality star, not as the fallen prince of a TV kingdom, but as a son, a brother, and a man who had finally come into his own. Ask ChatGPT. He also spoke about his evolving relationship with faith. While the Chrisleys were always vocal about their Christian beliefs, Chase admitted his understanding of God was once surface level. Before all this, I thank God for cars, opportunities, red carpets, he said. Now I thank him for peace. For a calm morning, for a phone call with my mom.